Oh yeah, we have a special guest today, Tommy. If you guys remember, I went over to Tommy's house maybe about 2 months ago. I did an interview with him. There's awesome 91 CRX. As I work on my car out of the trailer. He's actually doing a sunroof to try to sand shit down. So I got my palm sander DeWalt to sand this down. Alright guys, so I made the shroud piece for the driver's side. That is all done. That side's all done. I just have to make a piece for down here, which is honestly the top side of it. But I can make that while it's already in the car. So let's get back to putting this back in. Alright guys, so I'm here back in the trailer. This is actually like a day and a half later from the last little video I made. I let it sit in here for a bit. I have no water in there, so I'm going to keep filling up. After I'm done with that, I have to actually attach these two terminals because I put them there, but I never attached them to the actual battery, which is located right there. I did get a utility battery cable kit straight from AutoZone. And then all at the same time, I have to replace this one line. I do have a brand new line that is a -10 line. So I'm gonna try to get both of these done and try to video the process on taking care of all this terminal stuff. Just to go more in depth, it is a Duralast utility battery cable kit. I think it'll actually work pretty good. I already made sure that these connectors will fit the terminals that I have located at the backside underneath this fender, which is really easy to get to, honestly. And then I just attach it right to over here. Alright guys, so I actually had to drill out the hole a little bit bigger, as you can see. Not the cleanest, but it's going to do the job. All I did was crimp it super tight, put some heat shrink over it, all the way up to the top actually. It's hard to do with one hand. There you go. And then I'll use my butane little torch solder gun to heat this up, and that's it. And then I got to do the same thing for this side and also this side. And then I can actually attach them to the terminals on the battery and to the studs inside the engine bay, and we're good to go. Alright guys, so I got it all attached. Here's my positive. That's my ground. Right back there. Hooked it up to my terminals, which I don't know if you can see. No, you can't. But they're located right inside my engine bay. That's where I've always wanted them. So I hooked them up right there. And I actually have to mount this fuel pressure regulator. I have to make a mount. I might not get to it today. I gotta run out, do some personal things. And then I can make my shroud, the front side of my shroud right here, which is like a huge gap. But I'm gonna use some carbon fiber off my old hood again and bolt it to that hole right there to complete the full shroud, bottom, left, right, top, everything. Alright guys, so I'm back. So I'm making my bracket to mount up my fuel pressure regulator. I cut a piece of, it's not a 1/4 inch, I don't think it's a 1/4 inch of aluminum is what I had. The other piece is actually on the floor. But I cut this all out, measured it. I'm just kind of like shaping it up, making it look pretty, sort of. Then I'm going to mount it up to the fuel pressure regulator, drill my 2 holes. So it's actually mounted to the fuel pressure regulator. Then see where exactly I'm going to put my 2 holes in my shock tower, so I can actually screw it in so it's nice and sturdy. Alright guys, so a little fun fact about cutting a bolt, okay? So I need to cut this bolt a little bit smaller, well, a lot smaller than what it is. So I actually had a nut, okay? I kind of put it all the way down. I'm going to cut a little bit above it. Reason why I'm putting the nut here is that when I cut it, we all know it's a pain in the ass to try to thread this back into whatever it's going to go into. So the reason why I put the nut is that when I cut this nut, when I loosen, when I take it all the way out, it'll actually make that thread perfect. So you don't have to worry about struggling to put this bolt back into whatever you have to go to. All right, as you can see, I just cut it off, right? So it's actually pretty hot, so I'm trying to do this whole. All right, so right there it's stopping, right? Because I just, those threads at the end are a little messed up. Okay, I kind of went on an angle, doesn't matter. I don't care, I'm sorry. Yeah, nice and easy, nice and easy. It comes out so smooth. A buddy of mine actually taught me this thing, and it makes my life so much easier. Now you look at this, oh, sorry. And yeah, it's a little mess up on the top. I'll take the grinder, if anything, and just cut off that little piece, even though you won't see it, but now that thread is perfect. All right guys, so what I ended up doing, I ended up putting riv nuts in it, into the side, because obviously I couldn't find any holes that had threads in it, so I just used my riv nut gun or tool from Harbor Freight. I made my bracket, the little adjustments, painted the front side of it black, kind of hard to see, but once it's all mounted up, I'll show you what it looks like. Alright guys, so I finished the bracket for my fuel pressure regulator. I gotta clean all this up, make it look nicer over here, honestly, and just clean up all this little metal shavings, clean it all up, start my compressor up. I gotta actually buy a vacuum because the other one took a crap, but now that I'm done with this, I'm happy. I have to make my other catch can line because the other one got burnt out, so I do have line actually. I just got to swap it over and get that done, but I'm very happy. This was being held up by freaking zip ties for a while. I ain't gonna lie, it was being held up right up here, but now this is all secure. I feel more confident in knowing that this thing is not kind of like flopping around a bit. So now that I know the length of how long my line actually has to be, what I personally like to do, I get electrical tape, doesn't matter what size, and right where that line is, that little crimple in the electrical tape, that's where I'm gonna actually probably be cutting my line, or right next to it, because we all know when we cut it, it becomes basically like this, very frayed, very annoying. So when you actually cut it like this, it's very, everything stays together. All right, now that I got this all cut, you see how clean it is. But please, guys, when you cut this, I cut it with a grinder. Maybe it's not the right way, but that's what I use. Please, you see all that residue right there, you gotta clean it out, because whatever you're using this for, it will get through your oil, your fuel, whatever you're cutting it for, the lines for, it will get into that, and you don't want anything to be contaminated. So what I personally use, I use carb cleaner or any kind of cleaner. I run it through the line, spray it, and that's it. So as you guys can see, I just gotta take this fitting off so I can use this same fitting to go onto my brand new line. As you can see, I cleaned it all out with carb cleaner, nice and clean in there now, so I don't have to worry about any contamination in my oil. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit of grease, or too much. Just putting it right along the back side of it. And even on the thread, actually, a little bit on the threads, just so it goes on nice and smooth. Don't go too crazy, there's no need. It sits in so nice now, look at that. I'm able to get well, I'll try to do as much as I can by hand, and then obviously it'll stop because it's too hard. Okay, that's it. And just like that, we have a brand new line. This is perfect. Other side is perfect. And let's get it back onto the car. made the line just a little bit longer. Makes a world of a difference. Wow. Oh yeah, so much better. Sweet. Nice brand new line. That's awesome. I actually do have those fancy connector pieces, those pieces of metal. I left it over by my fabricator's shop. Chris, he actually gave them to me. He gave me a whole bunch of them. So I forgot them, obviously. Once I get this nice and tight right here and right there, this is my catch can, guys. It was honestly it worked out perfect. It was nice and small. I think DTR makes this catch can, but I had Chris make a tab back there and I think a tab over here a while ago. But once I get this nice and tight, I won't do the zip ties like I originally did. I'll actually get the right clamps, so that'll be for like tomorrow. Right after I'm done with tightening this up, we will get to the slipper valve. Slipper valve is right over there, and I will explain how that works. What's going on, guys? So I'm gonna actually hook up my slipper valve, or just get it attached to the frame. So what I noticed that I have this square hole right here. I'm just gonna drill out a little bit bigger so I can put a rib nut through it, tighten it all up, and use a 10mm bolt, and it'll attach the top part. This is not too heavy. It's actually very light. One line, like I said, this line goes to my master right there, and then the other side, which is down there, that goes to right here. Alright guys, so it's all done. I put a bolt right at the top, nice and tight. I actually ran my line. I was trying to figure out what is easier to run my line, because that was already pre-made. So I will pop that line off tomorrow, the one that's already in there, and attach the other fitting to that, and that'll be good. I want to get some kind of heat shield wrapping to go around these hoses. Even though it is far away, I've been running the vacuum hoses on the side. It has been fine, but just for precaution. And I actually want to put on my turbo blanket that I do have. I left it at Chris's shop. But so that line goes to your master, and then this line, that fitting right there, goes to your slave cylinder. Alright guys, so that's really it for tonight. I honestly got a lot done. I'm very happy about it. Oh, can't forget my nuts. So I'm very happy about it. Got a lot done. I like when I'm kind of like by myself. You get a lot done, you know. You kind of get into your own jam, your own music, and you're good to go.